Hello, so today we're going to play Gwyndelgard custom campaign created by Lord Bass. Okay, so we'll play on moderate difficulty level, so let's start. In a landscape with rolling green hills and murmuring streams running through the dense, unspoiled forests of oak and alder, surrounded by farmlands with a harvest season covering half of the year, and in a country known for its openness to foreigners, here lay the town of Gwynhill, in the province which carried the same name. Gwynhill was usually said to be the origin of the first people who settled in the country, Gwyndelgard, and the style of names from the province was affected by many names throughout the country, including the very name of Gwyndelgard. Gwynhill was a small town with less than 1,000 inhabitants, and yet it was very influential. The rich farms in Gwynhill delivered wheat to the entire country and beyond, even to the ale and wine makers in Winnsboro, a town in the northwestern part of the country. Wheat that was used in one of the finest ales of the world. One of Gwynhill's many inhabitants was called Emmanuel. Having yet to get to the backside of 30, Emmanuel was compactly built as a result of his military training. He had a dark brown hair, a chin and cheek covering beard, which was regarded as highly attractive at the time, and his eyes were clear and green. He was a sergeant in the local guard force, a force which hadn't been in actual use for 2.5 centuries, ever since the latest war between Gwyndelgard and its arch-enemy to the southeast north Andoria. Even though he was but a sergeant, Emmanuel held most experience of all the officers in Gwynhill, which counted up to 3, and had lately become the always dithering Mayor Paula's personal assistant. Emmanuel had a girlfriend, or wife-to-be, or betrothed one, as the older generations and the monks wanted to call her. Her name was Emily, and she was as beautiful as she was strong-willed and independent. The latter two faculties had gotten her rejected by several men, only Emmanuel seemed to know how to make her willing to cooperate. Emily was only slightly shorter than Emmanuel, yet much more delicately built. Despite this, she could be a terror-striking opponent in a duel of swords, which was one of her favorite hobbies. Her hair was golden brown and reached a bit beyond her shoulders. Her eyes were dark brown and her nose slightly bent, a souvenir after an at first playful fight with her older, much stronger brother when she was a child. Darrow, one of Emmanuel's childhood friends, was the foremost swordman in Gwynhill. He was muscularly built and a brute in one-on-one combat, but he had somehow managed to stop most of his brain cells from migrating and turning into muscle cells. He was also a very skilled hunter when hunting with javelins. Darrow had rather short black messy hair and no beard. He kept shaving it off since he hated the itchiness he got whenever he held a proper sword fight, or carried a big lot of timber from the woods to his house. Darrow was a simple man with simple ambitions, and he got along well with pretty much everyone, but he never seemed to find his betrothed one, or at least up until 5 years ago that was the case. Then, through Emily, he met Felicity. Felicity was born the youngest of 6 children of a farmer living south of Gwynhill village. As her older siblings were all male, she quickly learned to understand and get along with men, and when she found it necessary, even manipulate them to get her will through. She generally didn't manipulate people even if she could, this because she had been taught otherwise by the great priest in Gwynhill, Father Garnes, who became her greatest source of inspiration in life, excluding his problem with alcoholic beverages, especially those from the vineyards in Winsboro. Felicity was about the same height as Emily, but half a head shorter than Darrow. Her brown hair was of shoulder length, but put up in a ponytail most of the time, and her eyes were bright blue. Afternoon, Wind Hill Province. How have I been able to ignore this for so long? Peace and quiet, just a few minutes walk from the village. I definitely ought to come here more often. Emmanuel! Why do you always have to interrupt me during those few times I find time to rest, Darrow? Emmanuel! This time it's important, Emmanuel. You have to hurry. What's Paula's urgent needs this time? For Ataline's sake, he's the mayor. Can't he handle anything? Zafira's henchmen have come to take the villagers as slaves.
What?
What? But Zafira swore never to take us from Gwynhill as slaves. It was the part of the peace agreement. They don't seem to care much about for that old piece of parchment anymore. Come on. Zafira has decided upon some new laws for Gwyndelgard, Mr. Mayor. She needs new workers from Gwynhill. But we had an agreement. We would pay you tax and tribute if you promised to stop taking our citizens as slaves.
Perhaps so, perhaps not.
Perhaps so, perhaps not. The new laws also state that if a local leader complains about the laws, he and his people will be punished economically and physically. But so be it then. Whatever is best for the majority of the people. I'm glad you changed your mind, Mr. Mayor. Guards, bring me the new workers. When will we be getting our people back, if I may ask, in a near future? Laughs. That would be all. Thank you for your will to cooperate, Mr. Mayor. How do they manage to come up with so many ways to ruin our day? First, they decide how much crops we're all to grow. Then we couldn't use all metal tools when working, and now this. We don't have time for angry monologues, Emmanuel. We need to hurry. What has happened this time, Polev? Maruvian, he forced me to give him our people as slaves. Yes, I heard that, but where did they go? Whom did he take with him? He took almost a third of the village with him. I don't know where they went, perhaps the mines or the farmlands. Well, what can we do now? I told you this would happen sooner or later. You never should have trusted Zafira and her henchmen. What choice did I have? Start a rebellion and command our meager forces to attack Zafira's armored knights? If we had prepared for an ambush, which I suggested several times, we could have caught Maruvian and all of his men, stolen their weapons and armed our own forces. We might even have been able to aid Mezengi in a rebellion. Emmanuel, listen. Wait a second, Felicity, I'm not done yet. Polev, if you had listened to my ideas, we would have been both stronger in force and... No, Emmanuel, you wait a second. Emily was among the workers. What? But she... Why didn't you tell me, Polev? I was getting to that point. We have no time to lose. We have to rescue her and the others as soon as we can. But how are we supposed to free them from a superior military force? They could be anywhere in Gwyndelgard within days, and they would be guarded by heavy knights. We would stand no chance. Yes, we would, if we used the right tactics. I have a plan. Listen carefully. Immanuel's plan was simple and effective. They would travel across Gwyndelgard and find information about the new workers. Once they found out where Emily and the others were, they would contact Lord Nezenga to have him clear the way. How exactly do you think Nezenga would be able to help us? He has an army, and now he has an excuse to go to war against Zafira. You see, when either side breaks a promise in the peace agreement, it invalidates the agreement and you get back to square zero, which in this case is open war. It is a risky idea, Immanuel. I will help you, but you must make this look like Windhill is revolting. That would lead to terrible consequences for the people here and for me. I know, Pollard, this must all happen in silence. If Marovian finds out about this, he could send knights to destroy us before we even had a chance. So we'll go then, right away. Yes, we'll leave at once.
At last, a bit of action!
I will give you a force to start with, but then you'll have to gather volunteers. Best of luck, Emmanuel. Godspeed. Alright. Objectives Part 1, the Path to Freedom, gather volunteers from Windhill. Okay. So let's start. I never was really good at shot anyway, you'll probably do better without me.
Bid fear.
I will join you if my master stopped asking me for more tea and biscuits and allowed me to do some weapons training.
Kid?
Oh dear, I'm terribly sorry, but I have my hands full drinking tea. I don't believe God wants me to go out and fight, and if he did, I don't think my weak knees would allow me. My condolences to you, my son. If I knew this was going to happen, I could have hidden Emily inside the church where no armed man may enter. I don't blame you, father, there was nothing you could do. We could use some help though, father. We're on a quest to rescue Emily and the others. A priest and a healer would be great to have by our side. I'm not sure that God wants me to travel far away. The villagers in Windhill need me here. We might have a chance of passing through Winsboro to buy wine for the journey. On the other hand, God also wants me to liberate the heathens and bring them to Him. Winsboro is full of heathens and drunkards because of their excellent delicious wine. I suppose that would be right.
If it be God's will.
If it be God's will, I will help you in liberating Winsboro.
Bid fear. Bid fear. Toe. Bid
Alright,
fear.
let's us
Bid
get this
fear.
here. What good would I do in a fight? These javelins of mine aren't even sharp enough to stick to a tree. Guess not.
Bid fear. Bid fear. Toe. Bid fear. Toe.
You're going to fight Marovian, you have my bow. I'm a kind out of flowers right now, and they would take some time to make. And I just put the kettle on, so nah. I heard about what happened to Emily, Sergeant. I will happily help you rescue her and the other villagers.
At your service.
Bid fear. 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 Bid fear.
Hearted loner, your girlfriend and half the village has gone missing. Rescue them. Are you insane? When we finally get some calm there, you want to get them. Wait a second. When we finally get some calm here, you want to get them back in a pathetic, sociable way.
Bid fear. Bid fear. Bid fear.
Okay, he was
Bid
angry.
fear.
Let's see
Bid
what we
fear.
got here. If I want to fight, what kind of question is that? Of course I want to fight. I haven't been to battle for years. You have me at my trusted club.
Bid fear. Bid fear. Bid fear. Bid fear. Bid fear.
Alright, so
Bid fear.
we should go to the east. Best of luck on your quest, Sergeant. Didn't say anything. I think I could help you, but I don't believe my wife would allow me to go away for so long.
What a bunch of ruffians!
Bid fear.
What a bunch of ruffians. That Marovian was here and smashed his head on a frying pan island.
Bid fear. Bid fear. Bid fear.
What are you little men doing up here?
Little, you're on horseback. That's irrelevant. What are you doing here? We're here to ask for your help. Zafira has broken the promises she made to our people and has taken a third of our village as slaves. Our quest is to bring them home. Will you help us? Aha, you need the experience of a woman of war. At least we have an enemy in common. Zafira is stopping all our experts into Gwyndelgard. I will help you if you get rid of the blockade once you're done. You've got yourself a deal.
Bid fear.
Nana is with us.
Bid
This is
fear.
enough. We have all the troops we need for now.
Bid
Now
fear.
it is time to begin our search for
Bid
Barovia.
fear.
Guess we should go to the north. Find Captain Marovian. Alright, your heroes Emmanuel, Daru, Felicity, Father Garnas, Rob, Marvin, and Rodana must all survive, for now. Optional objectives.
Bid.
These ruins are some of the last remains of the old kingdom in all of Gwyndelgard. The artwork and detail is just astounding. It appears the crossing guards had new urgent orders to follow, but why leave the bridge entirely unguarded? Trouble up? Not with Kazengi perhaps, one can always hope. So, where exactly is Marovian? He could be anywhere in Gwyndelgard by now, but I believe he's in Selenir. And how do you know that? Selenir has the richest mines but a small population. With more workers, there he could mine much more gold and iron. I see God has blessed you with many gifts, Emmanuel. That does indeed sound like something Marovian will do, and all he cares for money is himself. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's head west. Southeast Atherton, northeast Pumpkin, and west Selenir, southwest Gwynfield province. Okay. Stop for a second, will you? Zafira's men are everywhere in Selenir. If we come marching with a small army, they'll become suspicious. I'll take the Royal Felicity with me, the rest of you must
So
wait
be
for
it.
us outside. So be it.
Bid here. Bid here.
Welcome to Salary, strangers. Be careful not to upset our so-called masters. Zafira soldiers
Bid
don't
fear.
have much of a sense of humor. Looking for your girlfriend, you say. You should speak with our local war veteran. He lives near the western tower of Selmir.
Bid here.
So, to the west.
Toe.
Most of our workers have been deployed to various working camps across the country. Those left work in the mines to the west, the left in town are those of us who are fit for fighting, as if we would ever fight for Zafir.
Bid fear. Toe.
It is a true disaster, a tragedy, a horrendous action, a slap in the face.
Toe.
A tragedy indeed. They've stopped all deliveries of tea from Winsboro.
Toe. Bid fear.
Ah, visitors, how can I help you? We're looking for Captain Maruvian and his workers. Do you know where they are? Workers, you say? Maruvian normally doesn't bring all workers to the same place. I could see him split them up in 3 groups when watching from the tower. You see a woman with long golden hair and brown eyes. You see which group she was placed in. I'm sorry, young man, my eyes aren't as sharp as they once were. However, I did notice the majority of the group was sent west together with Maruvian. They were probably going to work in the mines. Is that where Maruvian camp is? His camp lies down to the west of the mines, but I wouldn't recommend you to pay him a visit. Whatever it takes to rescue Emily, I will do it. Thank you for the information, old man. It was most kind of you. No worries, friend. Anything for my fellow countrymen. Good luck on your quest. Alright. Fine, Captain Maruvian. Alright, so this is going to be part 1. After that we'll continue our search for Maruvian. Okay. So